All right, what's up, you guys? So, I'm not really sure how to do this, but I know I've been thinking about starting like some kind of like vlog series or something like that. But my goal is to talk about stuff that's happened to me and my family um, throughout all the years growing up in our childhood home. Um, there were things that happened that um, people really wouldn't believe. Um, but I mean, so many of these stories are backed by other witnesses that aren't even in the family that know or that were there. Um, every single person that came to that house experienced something. Um, from cousins, from uncles, or aunts, and so forth. Um, my mom, uh, my mom and my stepdad, they had a lot of people come stay with us. It was family that were just getting here from Mexico, and they were, um, trying to establish themselves. Um, so they would stay with us for a while, and it was multiple families, multiple. I mean, countless people. Let me see. I could literally spend maybe a minute going down the list of people that had to stay with us. But every single one of them experienced something. Um, excuse me. Every single one of them, and it's not normal. It's not it's not normal, the things that we experience there. Um, one story that I'm gonna start this stuff off with is this lady that I used to see as a kid. I've seen her about 3 or 4 times, and it was something unexpected. But the uh, the first time that I seen her, I remember I was sick that night. I wasn't feeling good, so I was laying on my mom's lap to to go to sleep. Light was on. Everybody was still in the living room. My brother, sister, they were playing or doing something. I don't remember what. And my mom was sitting there reading her book. Like I said, I wasn't feeling good, so I laid on her lap, and I fell asleep. Well, when I woke up, um, I immediately thought it was weird because when I woke up, the light was on and the blinds in the living room were wide open. So I could see into the street when, like, how we had a light at the corner of our house that would shine down, and it would cast, some light onto the street. So I could see the street a little bit. And immediately thought it was weird because, for one, my mom would never leave the light on like that. She just wouldn't do that. And for two, she would not leave the blinds open like that. This had to have been, I want to say, around midnight, but I honestly didn't look at the time um, when I woke up. So don't remember the time, nothing like that. But anyways, I woke up. I immediately thought it was weird. And then I remember I sat up and I started rubbing my eyes so I can kind of get my bearings back. And I looked outside and that's when I noticed I could see the light shining on the street. And next thing you know, I see like a shadow almost. I see an area of the window where I should be able to see light, but there wasn't there. I noticed a shadow immediately. And I just remember I was looking down and I could see like real white hands. I mean, real white, pale with long black nails. And I remember I was looking and I was going up, and then I could see her face. Um, but as I noticed, all the details as I was, looking up to her, she had a long black dress, kind of like that draped at the wrists or the hands. Um, Real old, looked real old style. Um, and then I looked up and I could see her face, but her face, it almost looked like someone stretched skin over her face because I couldn't see any like actual features, just more like indents, where the features were supposed to be. So like the nose, I seen like, like just indents. Um, and I noticed she had long, long, long black hair. I mean, falling because our window in the living room wasn't that high. It was probably about 3 feet off the ground, maybe. So if somebody was standing there, you could see just below the waist, maybe mid thigh. And well, anyways, I noticed that her hair fell all the way down, and I couldn't see her eyes, but I could feel her staring at me. And when I felt her staring at me, I kind of looked at her for a second or two, kind of like shocked, and then I immediately just started crying and screaming. Um, then I heard something down the hallway, and when I looked down the hallway, I seen her coming at me. But when she was coming at me, she was coming at me with nails drawn. Um, I immediately just started swinging. Next thing you know, my mom and my stepdad are right there, and they're grabbing me, and they're telling me calm down, and I'm hysterical. I was young. I don't remember, um, but so I finally come back to, from not being calm. I'm still kind of crying, but my mom was trying to tell her what happened. So I explained to her, through crying, what I had seen, and I told her the details of the lady, and my mom went completely pale in her face. I'm not lying. I literally watched her face go from color to pale. And the only thing that she told me, she leaned back and she told me, I used to see her too. And when she told me that, it was like we just kind of looked at each other for a second, and then it was like I just went back to kind of crying a little bit because I was scared. Mind you, I was young, right? um, but yeah, so it turns out that my mom actually used to see her too when she was a kid, but my mom would see her all the time. So sometimes me and her would talk about it, and it kind of feels nice because um, me and her know it's like a validation. She validated the situation for me, being that she used to see her too. Who she is, I have no idea. There's speculation there, but I don't know. I really don't know. Um, my mom said though when she would see her that while my mom had a tough childhood, like really bad. My grandma, my mom would cry and tell her, "Hey, please leave the door open or the light on." I mean, and my grandma would be like, "No, no, no," and she would make her keep it off. And my mom said as soon as that she would turn it off and leave the room, that she would see the lady at the corner of the room, staring at her, but motioning her to like come with her. My mom said she didn't feel like in danger, but that she just knew she didn't want to go with her. For me, completely different story. The first 2 times that I seen her, it was like I felt something there. It wasn't like normal, oh, I'm seeing it. It was like it was directly towards me. Um, and I mean, I've seen it, like I said, multiple times. The third time that I seen her, I was probably 16, and that time I wasn't afraid, just kind of freaked out. I just remember I put the blanket over my head and was hoping that I didn't see her again. Um, but that's my story. It's the God honest truth. I plan on getting more out there because I'm telling you, I have tons of things that's happened to me and my family. Whether it follows us or not, I have no idea. But I would like to share my experiences, and maybe there's other people who can share them too.